Page 16, busy fingers. This is at the top. It's another sight reading thing. You sit down and just try and play it. If you're struggling with it, then try and sight read it one hand at a time and then put the hands together. The idea is you don't practice it necessarily, you just try and read it. However, even pieces that you sight read, you can go back afterwards and practice them and learn them. And that's what this video is about. I'm assuming you've already sight read it, and now you're ready to learn it. 2/4 time, no sharps or flats except the accidentals. So it's either in C major or A minor. Look at the end. Last measure, you hear? That sounds C minor to me. Again, we got 16th notes. Now, different countries call these notes different things. And here in the United States, we would call them 16th notes. Well, I had a British teacher back a long time ago, a concert pianist teacher, raised and educated in England, good pianist. And she used the semiquavers and quavers and crotchets and all that a lot. And it totally confused me. I kept saying, what? And she would have to translate it for me. So just know that in other countries, sometimes they use, these things are called other things. Semiquavers are also 16th notes. A quaver is an 8th note. Semi is half of that, so it's 16th note. Demi-quaver is semi-demi-quaver. It gets very interesting. You can look it up. You can Google about the quavers and all that, crotchets and all that. We just call them 16th notes. At the top, right hand. 1 E and 2 E and so 4th finger on the E flat. And then a D sharp, which is the same key. So you're saying, why are they using an E flat in one place and a D sharp in another? It's the same key on a piano. Technically it's not the same note, but on piano it is. Well, the idea is most of the time, not always, most of the time when adding these accidentals, well, they have to stay within the harmony of the chord. So if the chord is using flats, they'll use flats. If the chord is using sharps, they usually use sharps. If the chord is using both, they will use whichever they feel is appropriate. Here, a lot of times, like in chromatic passages, if you tend to go down, you'll use flats. If you want to go up, you'll use sharps. Here, they're going down from an E to an E flat, they'll just use an E flat. But the next measure, they're going up to the E, so they'll use a D sharp. One way of looking at it. Left hand, here, 3rd, thumb. You don't have to. You could just stay there and just all the way down, because you have a quarter rest to move. So there's no reason you gotta you can. There's nothing wrong. There's just more than one way to finger stuff, and I'm trying to give you options. So if you happen to be talking to somebody about it and say, oh no, you got to finger it that way. No, you don't. There's other ways of doing it. And then the last one. Put them together slowly. The articulation, and I'll go ahead and add the dynamics too, since this is a short piece. It's slurs and soft. It's the right hand that's soft. The left hand is very soft. You got a crescendo there, you see, but you don't want to get loud to the 3rd measure, so you got to plan it out. So you soft, little louder, little louder, little louder. Now you're loud. Like so. And that end, it's the half note that's loud. The left hand still needs to be a little softer than that. Then the speed wise, well, they're saying moderato, but it's up to you because it has to be even and controlled. It's not fast or slow, and that's the overall flow of the piece. Not the beat necessarily, but the feel of the piece is in the middle somewhere. Seem fast? Slow it down. Does that seem slow? It's a personal thing, and you can try it at different speeds at different times based on how you feel. Or you have a teacher and they'll tell you how fast to play it. I like to go over it with you very slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. And again, because we got 16th notes, I put the metronome on 8th notes. I'll give us 2 8th notes, 4 8th notes, 2 beats to start, and we'll come in. Ready and go we and 1 E